Hey everyone, it's DayJaMona, and I feel like I have not recorded a video in forever for you guys, and it's only been like a week. But if you don't know, if you don't follow me on Snap, the reason why I was gone is because my birthday was on Sunday. Me and the girls went to Vegas for about 4 days. We had so much fun, but yes, I did not vlog it or record videos while I was away, but vacation's over, so back at it. So as you can tell from the title, another Swatch me is here, and even though it was my birthday and Christmas is coming up in less than a week and a half, I wanted to do something special for y'all. So enjoy this Swatch me and stick around to the end for a surprise. DayJaMona, DayJaMona. So here we have the NYX Beauty School Dropout Freshman Palette. So it comes in this regular box, and then on the back it shows you what the palette has and all the different colors. And this just shows you like which of the colors are what in the palette, as well as what ingredients are in every single color. So this palette includes 4 face powders, 6 eyeshadows to the left of the palette, and then 32 eyeshadows to the right of the palette. And then there are 3 eyeshadows on the right side of the palette that are actually pressed pigment. So, and then this little paper just indicates which 3 are pressed pigment, because they're not all side by side or like at the top or at the bottom. There's just certain colors that are pressed pigment. So I don't really know how they set that up, like why they chose the 3 colors that they did that way. But just looking at the color schemes, I think this is going to be an awesome like starter palette for cheeks and eyes for someone just starting to get into makeup. I think it's very versatile as far as skin tone. Like I think this palette, great skin dynamic, and anyone with any skin tone could benefit from it. So it has like this little clasp like you would see on a regular school journal, and you just open that up, and when you first open it you see a mirror, like a school locker, and then this is how it looks on the inside. I'm trying not to blind y'all, but one of my colors broke, so this is how the palette looks. Very dynamic in colors as well for the eyeshadows. Like, you know how there's like Kylie has maroon palettes or bronze palettes, and even brands like Morphe have their bronze palettes or brown palettes, and they try to stick to one base of a color or a color scheme in an entire palette. Like this does not do that. Like you go from white to baby blue to right next to an orange to a forest green. So makeup is something they want to start taking time and money to invest in. I think this is great. And for the face powders, they're mostly like of a pinkish color. One is kind of like a bronzed brown. So for these, I would say even though it's a face powder, I would definitely say use it for like your cheeks. I wouldn't say of any skin complexion would use this for like a face powder as in like a pressed foundation or anything like that. I mean, if anything, if you're a little bit lighter than my skin complexion, you could probably use this brown as maybe like a contour. But because of the consistency of it, I really don't see how someone could use it for much more than that. So I'm just gonna swatch a few of them for you guys. I think I'm just gonna swatch the whole left side, and then we'll talk about the right side later. So It comes with this plastic over top of each side, which I highly recommend keeping on, or finding another way to, when you're storing this palette, like just keep it flat, or find another way to have something in between the two sides, because when you do close it, they're on top of each other. So like one of my colors over here actually broke, and I mean the color itself is full, but like the pan broke, if that makes sense. Let me show y'all. So it just broke. I'm pretty sure I could just super glue it back. If someone isn't so lucky and their color actually breaks, you don't want the other colors to possibly get ruined. So that's why I would highly recommend keeping the plastic on there, or having another means just to keep them separated. Since there is so much in this palette, I know that this will be like a great travel buddy to have, because it includes so much. So let's get started with these swatches, because I feel like I've been talking enough. So the first swatch I want to do is this color right here. This is like it's coming up a little lighter on camera, but it's like a peachy, it's like a peachy pink. Yeah, it's coming up a lot lighter on camera. That's how it looks on direct swatch. So that transferred really well. Very true to color. It's like, I think the back glare of the lighting is washing it out a little bit, but it's like a very ashy pink, if that makes sense. So the next color is this brown, which I mentioned earlier, like someone of a lighter skin complexion than like me could probably use this as like a good contour, like pressed powder, just for something light. I would say like put this over the contour that you use. Like I know a lot of people use another foundation in a darker shade than them to contour. So like if you were to do that, then you could just put this pressed powder over top of it to make it a little bit more matte. That's just an idea. But if you see that like matches my skin complexion almost exactly, like you could tell that it's there, but this definitely isn't a color that like I could use for a blush or anything. Next color is this mauve pink. See, it doesn't look pink on camera, but it's like a mauve pink. Where this was ashy, this is more mauve, and then this is more hot, if that makes sense. There you go. So now for me, I would have no problem using that as a blush. I think that's a very cool, subtle pink to use for a blush. And the last color is the hot pink. And y'all see what that looks like. So let me just mention that none of these colors have a name. So for your four face powders, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for your eyeshadows on the left, it's just 1 through 6L. So the colors are like 1L, 2L, etc. And then on all of your 32 colors on the right are just 1 through 32. So, and then there's no like difference and the colors on the right. Even if it's a pressed pigment, it's just colors 11, 13, and 22 that are actually pressed pigments. So you would have to just, I guess, count or look at your little diagram that they provided here, and then just see like, oh, well, this one is 11, this one is a pressed pigment or has pressed pigment within it, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to point that out because like it's kind of weird that I'm like, oh, this name is doo-doo-doo like I would in any of my other Swatch me's. And the reason why I can't do that is because I would just be telling y'all a number and not so much the name of a color, and I just don't think that that makes sense to point out. So yeah, I'm sorry y'all. I think that nomenclature like for each color could have been something real. I mean, I guess since there's so many colors, it's just like, yeah, this is just too many colors. We don't need to make a name for all this. Let's just call the whole palette a name and then put numbers within it. Like, I mean, I guess that is easier, but yeah. So now I have these beautiful eyeshadows at the bottom to show y'all, and what I would point out is that these are more of like a neutral or base color. On this side you would use more for as a base or transition colors, and then once you get to this side, this is when you're really gonna start to have fun. So I think maybe that might be a reason of why they separated the eyeshadows the way that they did, as well as made these colors bigger, just because you use base all over, and then these are more concentrated, so they're smaller. I never got it. I never looked that up. I literally just came up with this theory just from looking at the palette like over again, because I have played with this palette before, but just not with y'all. So yeah, that's my theory, that because these are base colors, they're bigger, and then these are just more supposed to be more concentrated because they're actual colors or crease colors or whatever have you. And that's how it comes up on my finger. And just leaving off from earlier, that's a very nice payoff, but as you can see, it's very chalky. So what I will say so far from playing with this palette is that there's a lot of fallout. So from just past experience, I mean, me personally, I do my eyes first. Like, I always go in with primers, start with my eyebrows, then go to my eyeshadow, and then do foundation and stuff. But for people that like to do their foundation first, if you're gonna use this palette, I highly suggest you wait to do your foundation, just because like it is more on the chalky side. So that's good and bad, because I mean, NYX is not an expensive makeup brand whatsoever. This color payoff is phenomenal for the price. But then like if all your foundation is already done and stuff, and then you do your eyeshadow last, then you might have a lot of fallout, and then you'll end up having to reapply, and then your concealer and stuff may get chalky. So you just want to make sure that if you're using this palette, you go light with the brush that you use, or if you're using your fingers or whatever, or that you just wait and apply your foundation after, and all your concealers and all that. This is all like neutral colors like I said, but it looks more green on camera. Go to this one. It's like a lighter gold than the one here. You can barely see that. That blends in very well with my skin, so that probably will not be a color I use too often. We have like this pale pink, paler than the one up top for your cheeks, or for like another part of your face. See, fallout. Now we have this one. All the rest of these are like pretty much a brown, except for the last one, which is like a white. This one right here, honestly, would probably be the color I would use the most as a transition. Just because it's just slightly darker. These two right here will probably be what I use. Excuse me. Probably use the most as like a transition color for an eyeshadow. And I guess for the number, that's 5L and 6L right next to each other. Now we're gonna go into this one. That's not bad either. For the last one, it's pretty much like a white. Yeah, I don't really know how else to like describe it. Yeah, it looks really white. So I'm just gonna pat that because it was already chalky. So that is the whole left side of the NYX Beauty School Dropout palette. Of course, not including the mirror if you want to be technical. As you can see, just from using my finger, like it's a little messy, very chalky, but the color payoff, like the pigment itself, is not bad at all. So I'm not going to swatch all 32 colors of the left side just because I want one of y'all to swatch it and show everyone else. So this one is mine. This one, yes, there is something in here as well, is one of y'all's. So I just wanted to give back to the few subscribers that I do have on my channel already. Yes, my birthday was December 11th. All you have to do is like this video and comment below what you like best about makeup. That's it. That is it. And be subscribed to my channel, of course. Yeah, so let me say that again. To enter this giveaway, all you have to do is like this video, comment below saying what you love most about makeup and or why you apply it, however you want to answer that question, and then be a subscriber. So that is too easy. And today is December 15th, and this giveaway will end on December 23rd. So it's going to be a whole week and a day that y'all have to enter. Well, sometime during the day on December 23rd. Hopefully I can get in contact with the winner that day and then ship it out that day. So yes, of course you're gonna receive it after Christmas, but still Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. Happy holidays to everyone. And that is it. So again, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. And now we'll see you in the next one. Much love.